Welcome back to Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. Today is not Friday, but it is Erev Shabbos. I'm sorry that we didn't meet the last couple of weeks, unable to for different reasons, but Amir Hashem, Baruch Hashem, we're back today. We'll be off again for 2 weeks and then back on. We'll post a complete schedule in our WhatsApp group. I want to thank our generous sponsors, Menni and Tzipora Fishman, Schutz V'chai Rivka Bas Tzipora Fredel, in memory of Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, Rav Yaakov Tzvi Ben David Aryeh. Thank you for sponsoring the Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. I want to share with you a thought, an idea, how we can turn our Friday into Erev Shabbos based on a beautiful teaching of the Heilige Baal Shem Tov. It's an avoda, there's work, there's effort we have to do. If you don't get ready, if you don't prepare before Shabbos, you can't eat on Shabbos. If you don't do the work before Shabbos, you can't tap into and have the most magnificent Shabbos. So the Baal Shem Tov taught the following. The Gemara Chazal teach us that Meis be'erev Shabbos, Simen Yafelo. If a person expires, if a person passes away and leaves this world on an Erev Shabbos, it's a positive omen. It's a good sign. And the Baal Shem Tov and others ask, can you plan when you leave this world? Do you get to schedule it and plot it and put it on your calendar? What kind of advice is this? Meis be'erev Shabbos. If a person dies on Erev Shabbos, it's a simen yafe. It's a good sign. It's never a good sign to die, and you can't choose when you die. So what is going on over here? And the Baal Shem Tov said the following. He said, Yehudi ha'omid b'shar ha'Shabbos ve'ena motze b'nafsho b'mele hikanis l'Shabbos. A Jew stands on the cusp at the entrance and the gate of Shabbos, and he says, in what merit? Shabbos is Kedusha. Shabbos is a sanctuary in time. Shabbos is immersing ourselves in holiness and in sanctity. But do you know what I did all week? Do you know what I looked at? Do you know what I said? Do you know where I went? Do you know what I did? Do you know how few minyanim I made or how much I talked during davening? Do you know how many fights I had in my home? Do you know how many mistakes, how many things I watched that I regret, that I'm ashamed of? So how am I going to enter Shabbos? How can I walk into Shabbos? How can I immerse myself in the Kedusha, in the sanctity, in the holiness? How can I pretend to want to draw close and connect to Hashem? I feel unworthy. I feel inconsequential. I feel I don't matter. After all, Shabbos is all about clinging to Hashem. Shabbos is disconnecting from this world to connect to our source, to Him. It's shutting off the technology, the to-do list, the tasks, the distractions, in order to be able to hear the message of Hashem. So in what merit? How am I worthy? How will I connect? We stand at the cusp, at that entrance at the gate. I might as well be late from Mincha on Erev Shabbos. I might as well tune out during Kabbalah Shabbos. I might as well read some Parsha sheets or distract myself from the Torah reading. How do I connect to Shabbos? Hu margish es atzmo yesh. And this Jew says, you know what? I'm a yesh. I'm a someone. I'm a something. He sees himself and he says, here's where I went wrong, or here's where I went right. Maybe that Jew swells with pride and with arrogance before Shabbos and says, I killed it this week. You know how much money I made? You know how many followers I gained? You know what difference I made in the world? Do you know who I am and what I'm about? I killed it. And maybe that Jew swells with pride and with arrogance and feels they're a yesh. I'm a someone. I'm a something. I don't need anyone or anything. I'm on my own, independent and proud, which is the opposite of what one needs. To cling and connect to Hashem, you have to surrender and submit. And sometimes people come into the end of the week. They say, surrender, submit. You know that kind of week I had? You know how great I am? I don't need to surrender to anyone else. So, how does such a Jew enter Shabbos? Either extreme, because they think I'm a no one or they think I'm such a someone. And the answer is, says the Baal Shem Tov, Meis be'erev Shabbos, simen yafelo. Meis be'erev Shabbos means to kill and destroy and nullify that sense of self. Get rid of the ego, So much. Either the voice of our pride or the voice of the opposite of our insecurity and low self-esteem. It comes from too much focus on the self, on the ego. Ego stands for edging God out. Ego is the enemy. Ego absolutely destroys relationships with people around us and with Hashem. So how does one enter Shabbos? Meis be'erev Shabbos. Simen yafelo. Get rid of the ego on Erev Shabbos. This is your homework today. Today's not Friday. We turn our Friday into Erev Shabbos by working on bittul. Get rid of the ego. You made a great kugel, be proud. You prepared a beautiful Dvar Torah, great, get ready. But going into Shabbos, it's not about you, us. It's not about our ego. Don't lose your cool. Don't get angry if other people don't get ready on the same timetable as you. If the Shabbos meal doesn't go the way you wanted it to, if you didn't get the nap that you planned for, it's not about our ego. The way to lean into Shabbos, the way to get the most out of Shabbos, the way to experience our best Shabbos is to be Meis be'erev Shabbos, is to get rid of that ego. This is all brought down by the Slonimer. Ki osi beni uvenechem shegam b'Shabbos yishar koach lahavi l'dvekas b'Hashem k'mo koach haTorah. So that's what Erev Shabbos is all about. Erev Shabbos is get ready, get best positioned for Shabbos. If Shabbos is a platform for a great relationship with Hashem, with others, and with ourselves, then it means getting rid of the ego. The ego is the obstacle. The ego is the enemy. The ego is the kryptonite. The ego destroys so much that we work so hard for. And Shabbos is the tachlis of Ma'aseh Bereshis. Shabbos is the payday. Shabbos is the payoff of all that work. Don't ruin it. Don't destroy it. Don't compromise it by having too much of an ego going into it. So that's our avoda. That's your work. It's a long Friday, and there's still time left. Practice bittul. How can we get rid of the ego? How can we surrender to Hashem? How can we not edge God out? How can we edge Him in? How can we make room for others? How can we be patient and kind and loving, not need to micromanage or overpower or be in control, not make the conversation at the table or our seat in shul or whether we get a kibbud? How can we make it not about us? We turn our Friday into Erev Shabbos by being meis be'erev Shabbos. That's the greatest siman yafalo that we can have. The greatest, most positive sign that we can have is getting rid of that ego. Amir Hashem halavai. We should be zocha to be meis be'erev Shabbos, chalila, not to leave this world, but to leave the world of the ego, and to be able to take pride. Be proud of the good things that you've done this week. Be proud and grow tall with the learning, the davening, what you've accomplished in business and life. Be proud of the preparation for Shabbos, but understand it's not about us. It's about Him. It's about the people around us. Get rid of that ego, and we'll make room and space for others. It'll be a siman yafalo. You'll have the most beautiful Shabbos ever. We hear Besoros Tovos Yeshuas, the Nechamas should be a Shabbos of Geula.
Shah